Hey guys, Sports Check in back with another video, and sorry for being a little inactive because my last post was last week, but I've been busy looking at colleges and applying to colleges, but that's besides the point. I was thinking about making a new weekly series, and that's my NFL picks for the week, and this week is week 5, and I'm a little late to it because as of recording this right now, Thursday night, the Bears and Buccaneers are playing right now. It's 3-0 Buccaneers, but I'm sure that's going to change later on. Um, but before, if you were to ask me who was to win, I would say the Chicago Bears. And right now, I'm still going to go with the Chicago Bears because I'm just not a believer in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their defense is good, but their offense, especially today, is not good because they're missing a lot of people, and the people they have are hurt. I just don't believe in Gronk anymore, and they lost O.J. Howard. They got Mike Evans, who's good, and Chris Godwin, who's good, but the main reason I don't really trust their offense is Tom Brady, and I know he's the GOAT, but at this point in his career, I don't know how much he has left in him. So I just think the Chicago Bears are going to take this game. And I feel like the Chicago Bears have a better defense. And then, okay, so the next game is at Sunday, and it's 10 a.m. Arizona time, and it's the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Houston Texans. So the teams, if you were to look at the record, you'd get fooled by it because you'd think the Jacksonville Jaguars are better, even though they only have one win. But I think now that the Houston Texans are done with Bill O'Brien, I think they have a good chance of winning this game, and it's also their easy game on their schedule because the first few weeks they were kind of screwed. They had Baltimore, they had Kansas City, they had Pittsburgh, and they had Minnesota, who hasn't been playing great, but they're still a good team. And I think they're going to finish at least 500, Minnesota. And so this is going to be like Houston's first easy game. And I think Houston's going to take it because I believe in Deshaun Watson. I'm going to continue to believe in Deshaun Watson, even though Nuke, DeAndre Hopkins isn't there. I just believe in Deshaun Watson that much. And then I think J.J. Watt can pull off a sack or two in crunch time, and they're going to have a good chance of winning. And also, I love Gardner Minshew. I think the Jaguars should stick with him and trade whatever pick they get to build on him. But right now, the Jaguars just don't have a good team or as good as a team as the Houston Texans because Deshaun Watson is that good. So I'm going to take the Houston Texans. Next game is the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Baltimore Ravens. This is an easy one. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens. Joe Burrow's look absolutely spectacular. I said that in my last video, I believe, and I still believe that he got his first win also. So confidence is going high, but the Baltimore Ravens are just a different breed. They've got more talent everywhere in every position. Only position you can argue Cincinnati has more talent is a wide receiver, and not by much. Off on paper, you can, but the Baltimore Ravens don't really need or use their wide receiver, so it won't make too much of a difference in that aspect. And the Baltimore Ravens got great corners, so that can neglect the Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver core. The next game we have the Carolina Panthers versus the Atlanta Falcons. I was a early season believer in the Falcons, not like they could make the playoffs, or they will make the playoffs. I thought they had potential, but I didn't think they were going to. I thought they were going to have a solid 8-8 season, but right now I think they're 0-4. They haven't won a game. They got whooped by the Packers. And Carolina Panthers, I thought they were going to be average, and they're looking average. But what really surprised me is their win over the Arizona Cardinals, who I thought was going to be a legit team. And they could very well be one because they beat the San Francisco 49ers when the 49ers were close to full health. They had Nick Bosa and everybody at the time. So the Panthers beat the Cardinals, so I thought that was a great win for the Cardinals, or the Panthers. But the Cardinals were struggling because they lost to the Lions. But I'll still take the Carolina Panthers over the Falcons. Enough said about that one. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm gonna take the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes just too good. All their weapons are great. I'm not even sure if Henry Ruggs is gonna play for the Las Vegas Raiders, and so I think that's their number one receiver. And I just don't see how the Raiders will be able to hang with the Kansas City Chiefs because the Raiders don't have a good defense, and Kansas City Chiefs have an above average defense. And I don't doubt Derek Carr will be able to put points on him, but I just think Patrick Mahomes is gonna be too good for the defense. Uh, Now we have the Arizona Cardinals versus the New York Jets. Even though the Arizona Cardinals haven't looked good in the last 2 weeks, I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals. I don't think I have to say much more here. The Jets just look terrible. Only thing I want to say for this game is free Sam Darnold. I don't think the Jets should give up on him, but it looks like his career is going to be ruined the way Josh Rosen's was. But Sam Darnold had more time, but he just had much more incompetent help around him. So that's why I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals. Next on the list, we have the Philadelphia Eagles against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we're playing, I guess, two division leaders are playing each other. But in reality, I don't really consider Philadelphia a division leader just yet because they're 1-2-1, which is not a good record. And it's the NFC East, or as a lot of people call it, least. And they just haven't looked good. Carson Wentz hasn't looked good except for that one game against San Francisco. In that one game, he looked good. Everyone wants to jump back on his bandwagon. While people were hating on him, like Colin Cowherd, he wasn't hating on him, but he said Carson Wentz was struggling. They might need to consider a change. And then now, after that game, he's like, Carson Wentz is great. I love that guy. I definitely don't believe that. I'm still iffy on Carson Wentz. He had a good season a while back, but then ever since then, it's just been downhill. Not terrible, but just downhill from his close to MVP season. And Pittsburgh's defense has looked legit, and Carson Wentz holds on to the ball too long, and the D line of Pittsburgh will not allow that to happen because Carson Wentz will either have to throw it or get sacked. So enough said there. And then we have Los Angeles Rams versus the Washington football team. I'm going to take the Los Angeles Rams in this one. I would have given the Washington football team a better chance if they started Dwayne Haskins. I don't know what they're doing. He had a career game, and they benched him all the way to third stringer. And of all people, they put Kyle Allen in instead of Alex Smith, who I think is much better than Kyle Allen. I think Alex Smith is better than Dwayne Haskins, but Dwayne Haskins, they definitely need to give him more time because he's the future. But it looks like Ron Rivera's giving up on him because that's not his guy. And I think that's a mistake because Dwayne Haskins is definitely their best chance at winning later on and saving their draft picks, I would say, because they don't have to waste one on a quarterback when they already have one. But I don't know what the Washington football team is doing, so I'm just going to take the Los Angeles Rams, who have looked good with Sean McVay, except for the Giants game. That was terrible. Next, we have the Miami Dolphins versus the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to make a bold claim here, and I'm going to say Tua will play in this game. I'm not going to say he's going to start because it's already been announced Ryan Fitzpatrick is the starter, but I'm going to take Tua to play in the game. I'm just going to say it because I think Ryan Fitzpatrick isn't going to play well leading to Tua. But I believe the Miami Dolphins will get their first win, I think. I don't know if they've won a game, but I think this will be their first win. San Francisco's looked on and off. They beat the sorry Giants. I kind of like the Giants, so I was sad. But San Francisco against the Philadelphia Eagles, who are more legit team than the Giants, they didn't look good against them, and so that's why I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins. They're a well-coached team, Brian Flores, and they're going to make as many mistakes as the Giants. Next, we have the New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys. So the fan in me wants to say the New York Giants. I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys, though. But I also hate the Dallas Cowboys. But I'm not going to let that interrupt my judgment. And so I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys, but I think there's real potential for an upset because the Cowboys' defenses look terrible, and this could be the game that could jumpstart the New York Giants if there is going to be a game. And if it looks like it would be this one because even though the Dallas Cowboys can score with the best of them, the New York Giants have a pretty good defense. It would be a lot better if they didn't have to stay on the field like 90% of the game, but you can't ask for more than they've done so far. And the Cowboys have looked weak, but still the Cowboys have a much more talented roster, and Dak Prescott's playing great. So I'm going to have to take Dak Prescott. Next, we have the Indianapolis Colts versus the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns here. I like Baker Mayfield. I don't know why people are hopping off his train, but I'm gonna stay on it. And their team is just more talented. Even though the Colts defense has looked legit, I think the Cleveland Browns ground and pound game has been even better. So I think I'm just gonna stick with Cleveland Browns. That's about it for the Cleveland Browns. Enough said there. Vikings, Seahawks. This one's easy. Give me the Seattle Seahawks. Vikings have looked good, but not good enough. Or they haven't looked good, I would say. They only look good against the Houston Texans. Other teams, they've looked average to above average, but they're still a real team, I would say. But the Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson is cooking too much. Let Russ cook. And DK Metcalf and Russell Wilson have some real connection going on. So I'm not going to be the one to pick against that. So I'm just gonna, even though Dalvin Cook's playing good too, I'm gonna take Russell Wilson. And lastly, our last game we have is the New Orleans Saints versus the Los Angeles Los Angeles Chargers. And I'm gonna take the New Orleans Saints against the Chargers because I just trust Drew Brees more than I trust Justin Herbert. And then not only that, I just think the Saints roster is more talented overall, even though the Chargers got a better defense. I know they're due to win one, but I don't think it's gonna be this one they're gonna win. So the Saints have a pretty good chance. They're looking to get blood because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'm gonna guess, is gonna lose today. I just trust Chicago more than Tom Brady. I know I'm one of the few people to say that, but it's what it is. And so if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lose, that's going to be extra motivation for New Orleans to ball out, and so they will. I believe, and they'll take the division lead. And then lastly, actually, I was wrong. There's one more, or there's actually two more. Sorry. Buffalo Bills versus the Tennessee Titans. That's going to be played on Tuesday, and I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills. They've just looked legit. Josh Allen's looked better. I've never bought Tennessee, especially because Ryan Tannehill's starting there. But that's about what I have to say because all I have to say is Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and Buffalo defense, and my point's made. And then the New England Patriots versus the Broncos. I'm going to take the Patriots even if Cam Newton's not playing because the Broncos are also on a backup quarterback or backup quarterback. And then basically it's going to be battle of the coaches, and I think I'm going to take Bill Belichick over anybody if it's a battle of the coaches. And so those are my picks. And let me know if you guys would choose anything different. Don't forget to like and subscribe on this video. And if you like more, just leave a comment and tell me what else I should make a video on. And just wanted to apologize again. I was for not posting as frequently, and that's because I was applying to colleges. Hopefully, I get into one of the bigger colleges like NYU or Boston University or USC or Northwestern. And if you guys are watching right now, those colleges, accept your guy. But that's about it. Thanks, guys.